everyone, thanks for coming back to my channel. So this video is going to be about my entire trip to Paris. So I thought I was going to do like a whole vlog, but once I actually got there and I realized that I really wanted to be present in this experience I was having and not just vlog it the whole time, and like I'm super new to this and I didn't really know like what I should be vlogging and not vlogging and things like that. So it's going to be more of a talk with me itinerary recap and let you know all the things that I did, show you a few things that I purchased, some little tips and tricks that I picked up along the way. And yeah, hopefully you guys like this video. And I'll be sharing some pictures and clips at the end of this video of my trip, kind of like a mini vlog, and hopefully you guys like it. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Comment below if you have any suggestions for where I should go next. I have the complete travel bug and trying to think of the next fun vacation I should plan. So shall get into it. So we left on Thursday, but because of the time difference and everything, we got there Friday in the afternoon. We hired a travel company to pick us up from the airport because it had been our first time flying internationally into Europe. I didn't know how far away our hotel really was. Like I knew it was about 30 minutes away, but mileage and everything, I wasn't sure. I didn't want to get there, get an Uber, not realize like, oh, the Uber's too small for our huge luggage. Like, what are we gonna do? So we hired a company to pick us up and it was super easy. Once we got off the plane, there was somebody there holding a sign that said Shelby White. It was so cute. I wish I would have gotten a picture, but it was totally like movie scene where somebody's holding your name and there's a car for you. And it's a nice, super big van, so our luggage fit perfectly fine. There's a few other people that actually also had booked the company as well to take them to their hotel. They weren't staying at our hotel, but all the hotels kind of are in the same similar area in Paris. They're about, you know, 20, each stop was like about 20 minutes away from each other, so it wasn't too bad. We booked our hotel and flight through TravelZoo, and if you don't know what TravelZoo is, it is kind of a budget website for travel purposes, like kind of like a travel agent, but or a Groupon, if you've ever used them for travel. But they do bundles of trips and they're usually like very, very reasonable trips. I think that this trip for both my mom and I came just under $4,000, which if anybody has ever traveled to Europe, you know that this is super, super good deal. I don't think that, and I think it was even cheaper than 4,000. I feel like that's kind of a high, maybe 3,000. I want to say under 3,000, which is super, super reasonable. I feel like for two people to go to Europe for a whole week, including your flight and your hotel. So they picked us up at the airport. So the person that we hired, that was an extra fee. I believe it was $100 for both to and from the airport. Our hotel that we stayed at was Hotel Romance Malesherbes by Patrick Hyatt, and I'll for sure link it below. I completely recommend the hotel. I didn't know much about the hotel before I had went. That was the hotel TravelZoo had offered when we went to book, and so that was the hotel we went with. Super cute hotel, very small and quaint, very old. The elevator was meant for one person and one person alone, but we somehow figured out how to get both of us in there at the same time. With the luggage, no way, you had to go up and down by yourself, but it was super cute hotel. Everybody spoke English when we were there, so it was super helpful to just get there, not have to worry about breaking out my Google Translate or my notes that I had written down for simple French phrases. But the hotel is very simple. You know, very like five stories, small rooms, small bathroom. The bedroom was literally the bed and a little closet. There was not much to it. Again, you don't really need much when you're in Europe. It's not meant for relaxing. This isn't a relaxing trip. This is a historic sightseeing trip with new experiences. So the amount spent in the room was just to get ready and to sleep. So that is the hotel. I super recommend it. I'm not sure on the prices right now, but I'm sure it's very reasonable. And it was in a great area in the 17th Arc in Paris. So probably about 3 miles away from the Eiffel Tower, but that's probably about 20 minutes with traffic and everything. So on Friday, you know, we get there, we get to the hotel. I have to take a nap because I did not sleep on the plane at all. It was horrible. That was the longest flight of my entire life. It was close to 10 hours and I needed a nap. We took a quick nap. We then decided to go get dinner. I called an Uber and we went and saw the Eiffel Tower all lit up. Super beautiful at night. It was one of the greatest things to first see when you first arrive in Paris. And we went to like a little cafe, and they have cafes, you know, everywhere on every street corner. So this restaurant wasn't anything that I would recommend. It was just right there, and I didn't have any plans for us on the Friday because I knew it was going to be kind of playing it by ear, since I didn't know, you know, how tired we would be, if our hotel was going to be really far away, what the hotel would recommend, and everything like that. Just a little cafe on the corner. I had a croque monsieur, which is basically a ham grilled cheese sandwich, but the cheese is on the outside. Super, super yummy. And I believe my mom had a quiche, and super good. Nothing, again, to write home about, but good for our first meal. We then took an Uber back to our hotel and, you know, went to sleep. We saw the Eiffel Tower like nice and glittering, and it was, you know, just a beautiful experience for our first night, you know, in Paris. I will say that we did Uber everywhere. I thought I would use the metro, but once I got there, I realized how easy Uber was, just like it is here in the United States, and I just didn't want to mess with it. I wasn't in that space where I was really like felt comfortable. Now, if I were to go again to Paris, I probably would use the metro because you know, I'll feel a little bit more comfortable in the area that I'm in. I'll know like where I'm going. But it was super easy to just plug in exactly where you wanted to go into Uber, and then they just take you there. So Saturday we got up, and our hotel actually came with a Parisian breakfast, and a Parisian breakfast is very similar to the continental breakfast we have here. So lots of pastries, cereals, yogurts, fruits. They did have some meats and cheeses, juices, all that. So we were able to start off our day with like a nice little hearty breakfast. And that really cut, you know, spending down because we weren't, you know, having to buy anything in the morning. So I have like little notes written down here so I don't miss anything for you guys. The first stop was the Palais Royal, which is a former palace. Most of the places in France that are like big historic buildings usually were like former palaces. At least that's what I found. Like they were used, you know, by you know, the royal family in France, or built for some sort of palace purpose. So now this is just a really cute place where they allow you to take pictures. They have these really cute steps. I'll be sure to link some pictures in here. These little cute steps, like black and white, and just the architecture and the overall vibe of the area is just very, very fun, cute. It's a nice, beautiful place to just kind of walk around, enjoy. So we are at Palais Royal, where everybody takes the famous pictures on these steps. Steps were super cute. You can't really go into the palace, but you could go outside of it, see the gardens. But unfortunately, because we had traveled at the end of February, everything was kind of dead. So that is the only thing. Anything with like a garden outside area wasn't as pretty, but the steps were super cute. The palace obviously is beautiful. From there, we walked to Place Vendôme, which is another like shopping area in Paris. Now, every place in Paris has some sort of shopping area, but this one is known for its very expensive stores. So Chanel, Gucci, Saint Laurent, Louis Vuitton, all that fun stuff. I wanted to go there first because I, had been toying over the idea of making a purchase in Paris of a designer bag. And I would highly, highly recommend that if you are going to Europe in the near future to buy something, if that's your jam. They're extremely cheaper. I'm not going to say cheap because it's cheaper. You're saving probably close to $400 to $500 with the conversion rate right now, and you also are getting it tax-free. So that was a major like, you know what, I think this is time. I haven't had a new bag in about 3 years, and so I felt like, and I don't buy any like handbags in between. I will just buy a nice bag, and so I felt like it was time. And I had been eyeing a certain bag for a long time, but they're super hard to come by because it is a major like seller. It's the favorite, and they're completely sold out in the United States. Wait lists up the freaking yin yang to get one of these bags, and I thought, you know what, if I go and they have it, then that's just going to tell me that it was meant to be. So I wanted to go to Place Vendôme just because it's not as popular as some of the other Louis Vuitton stores. There's two other Louis Vuitton, there's a bunch of Louis Vuitton stores. There's a bunch of them. There's one in Champs-Élysées, which is probably the most popular. And there's also one in the Galeries Lafayette, which is like a department store, but they have a Louis Vuitton store in there as well. Those, because they're so much more popular, I was concerned that they're more likely to not have the bag because so many people go to those stores. So we find the store, the Louis Vuitton store. It's one of the first stores we saw. We went to the Saint Laurent, and I was thinking about, getting one of those bags, but I was really set on a Louis Vuitton if they were to have it. And I went into the store, and the sales associate was like, no, we don't have the favorite, it's a very popular bag. We only get one every 6 months, and it goes to somebody on the wait list. And I was like, yeah, I understand. Like, I was just, kind of hoping like maybe you would have one, but I understand. She showed us some other bags because my mom had also been wanting to purchase her first Louis Vuitton bag, and that was kind of like, okay, let's look at bags. I had been toying around with a bag that maybe I would settle on that was a little bit smaller. That's also like going to be similar to the favorite, but not that. And that's the one my mom actually ended up getting, which is super cute. It's a super nice like going out bag. But then the girl opened a drawer and she found it. She found a favorite, and I was like, yes, I want it. I don't even care. Like, I know I want it. I know it's meant to be. It's not the pattern that I was thinking I was going to get. But I will just show it to you. It's super beautiful. I've already unboxed it. So if you want to see my full little unboxing, my first one, you can go onto my Instagram, Shelby Lynn YouTube, give me a follow, and it will be there. So I'll show you the bag. It's super cute. It is a crossbody bag, so it has this handle. You can take this handle off though and use the chain for like a little shoulder bag action. So super cute. This is the lighter print of the checkered print. I'll link it below for you. You won't probably be able to get it, but if it's something that you're interested in, you can probably get on a wait list for it. I wanted the other checkered color, the black with the brown, but this is going to be great for spring and summer. And because there was only one, and I said that if they had it, I was going to get it, that's what I got. So yeah, that was my very first purchase of my Paris trip. Of course, it was on the second day, but honestly, that sounds like me. In a nutshell. I'm gonna put this on the ground. It sounds like me in a nutshell. I make decisions super quickly. Once I know I want something, I just go after it, and nothing can really stop it. So yeah, there is that. So we kind of just did a little bit more shopping, walked down the shops. For lunch we stopped at Angelina Paris. And they have a few Angelinas in Paris. It's kind of like I don't want to say a chain because I'm not exactly sure, but kind of like a chain. The one we went to was at Place Vendôme, and basically what they have is kind of like cafe style desserts, coffees. They're known for their hot chocolate. Basically was like pure chocolate in liquid form. It was delicious. I only had one. I don't think I could ever have another one again, but I'm glad I had it. The next thing that we went to was Loder for macarons. Macarons, not really sure what the right way is to really pronounce it, but we got some macaroons. They were wonderful. I definitely recommend them. I feel like there's macaroon places all over Paris because I saw a bunch, but this was the place that I really wanted to go to because it was the most famous in my opinion. And also went to a few museums. We went to Musée d'Orsay, and it used to actually be a train station, so they converted this train station into a museum. Super beautiful. Wasn't too big. Really, we got through most of it in about, I want to say, an hour. We probably could have stayed like another 30-45 minutes or so to finish up everything, but we were so tired from the day of all the walking and everything, we were just like, let's go. Because we wanted to get back to the hotel, change, take a little rest, and then we had Moulin Rouge to go to that night. Saturday was a completely full day. It was probably one of my favorite days in Paris yeah, it was for sure my favorite day. And it was like the first full day. So we did it really well. But yes, we went back to the hotel. We got ready for Moulin Rouge, and we took an Uber ride, super short Uber ride actually. We were super close to there, to Moulin Rouge. So we went in, you know, we wanted to see where Moulin Rouge was. We took a few photos in front of it. We then went to a cafe right across the street. Not sure about the name. I'm gonna get you guys all that information. I'm gonna put a complete itinerary of all like my restaurants that I recommend below. So look below for all the restaurants that I'm gonna recommend. But we had a great charcuterie board of meat and cheese and some wine, and that really set us up for going to the show. In the show they don't serve food unless you purchase it beforehand, and it's like a separate dinner option. You don't get to eat anything while you're watching the show. And then we had a bottle of champagne purchased for the duration of the show, and it was everything I expected the show to be, and I highly recommend it. I would recommend like a date night. I think would be super fun in Paris, like if you're going with your significant other, if you're going with your girlfriends. Don't think a bunch of guys would like this, but only if, I feel like the guys that were there, their wives made them go or their girlfriends made them go. But I would definitely recommend it. I think it's like a once in a lifetime type of thing to say that you saw Moulin Rouge in Paris. So yeah, that was our Saturday. Then Sunday, we had booked a complete tour for the whole day, of seeing like the most worthy places to see in Paris. I'm not sure exactly what it was called, but we had a private tour of the Louvre Museum. We had lunch on the Seine River. We got to go up the Eiffel Tower, and we were also going to be able to go into Notre Dame Cathedral, but this was back when we booked it. It was before Notre Dame Cathedral had was burned or caught on fire, and they're still repairing it. So unfortunately we weren't able to go inside, but we were able to see outside, and so kind of a bummer, but it was still nice to be able to see it. So in the Louvre Museum, again, it was like a former palace, and it is absolutely huge. Like, I had always thought it was just that pyramid, that glass pyramid, and there was some big, building with all the pieces in it. No, it is a huge palace of multiple floors, multiple rooms. It is I think it's the prettiest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And I just wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting this huge place to be in the center of Paris, when all my life, all I've seen as this glass pyramid. Not only does it have the Mona Lisa, which again, I think is a once in a lifetime thing. I know people say that's overrated, but how many people can say they've seen it, they've been in the same room with it. Not that many. I say go, do the overrated things. You're only gonna be there probably once or twice in your lifetime. Do the overrated things. People say they're overrated because everybody goes, but everybody goes for a reason, because they want to see those things. Then we had lunch on the Seine River. So we were gonna have lunch in the Eiffel Tower, but the Eiffel Tower restaurant was actually being renovated as well. And so instead what they did was we got to go on a boat cruise, and on the boat cruise they have like it's basically a big dining room, a bunch of tables. They serve you like a 4-course meal. It's absolutely wonderful.
Thank you.
So we're on a dinner cruise, lunch cruise.
I feel like now it's getting bright. Like
This is our menu. And the Seine River takes you down, and you can see like all these different parts of Paris. You can see the Eiffel Tower, Notre Dame Cathedral. There's the Statue of Liberty. Didn't even know that existed in Paris. I guess there's a second one in Paris. Who would have thought? So it was just super nice. It was a great lunch. It was one of the fancier meals we had. So got to try, you know, new things. I definitely would recommend it. Definitely think it's a little bit on the more romantic side. So if you're going with your significant other, definitely do that. Saw somebody get proposed to, and I was like, wow, that is so amazing. Like, this is the perfect, that guy, props to him. Like, I was like, wow, that is genius, and they'll remember that forever. So definitely a more romantic place, but my mom and I did have a good time. Then we went up the Eiffel Tower. So, you know, took pictures down below, went up, took pictures up top. The view from there is absolutely amazing. You can see all of Paris. It is crazy because everything looks so tall when you're on the ground, but then when you're on the Eiffel Tower, everything is like the same height. It's crazy. I definitely recommend it if you've never been. I think some people probably are like, you don't need to go up, but again, I'm all for that once in a lifetime stuff. I'm never gonna go up the Eiffel Tower again. Even if I go to Paris, I don't know if I'd go up again. Maybe if I go with somebody that hasn't done it, I'd be like, yes, we have to go. But to do it, like, I'm just like, I did it. I went up the Eiffel Tower. So yeah. Then it was probably around, you know, 5 in the afternoon, and we were super tired. We had Moulin Rouge before. We had this the whole day. So we went back to our hotel, slept, and I literally couldn't even get out of bed to even eat anything. So we just stayed in for the rest of the night. So that was a little bit of a bummer. I wish I wouldn't have been as tired, so we would have had to like go out, get something to eat, but you know, that's what happens when you travel and the time difference is 9 hours. So Monday, again, breakfast at the hotel every day. We wanted to see some more of the sites that we didn't get to see the previous day. So we went and saw the Arc de Triomphe. We saw the Champs d'Elysees shops, which is right by the Arc de Triomphe. So we did more shopping down that way. There's so many shops, a lot of designer shops as well. At Zara, I got a coat. I'll link it here below for you guys. Everything's tax-free, like I said. So if you find something that you're really interested in, I would definitely buy it. I also bought a cute dress. It's just black. It was super cheap. It was like $17. And I just felt like, you know what? I'm in Paris. Why not buy the cute black dress? Super cute. Has like this ruching down at the bottom. Probably can't tell. But yeah, black dress, and I got the black coat as well. All in all, came to under $70, 70 euros, and tax-free, getting tax back, you know, all that good stuff, you know, why not? We also stopped into L'Occitane, and we have them here as well. It's kind of like a beauty skincare line, and it actually had like this I'm thinking it's Patrick Rogers chocolate shop. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm gonna link it down below as well. Had a little cafe inside where my mom and I stopped for a little coffee, and I also picked up a cute little Paris bag to commemorate. you know, my time in Paris. I thought this bag was super cute, and it came with a little hand cream, and it also came with like this rose shower gel. The hand cream's already in my purse, so, you know, I won't show you that. But again, this was like 25 euros. Super cheap. Really, really worth it, I think, and just kind of nice to commemorate the trip. You're not going to get that at L'Occitane here, and I like their stuff. So we did that, had our coffee. We then went to Notre Dame Cathedral to look outside, take pictures. Near Notre Dame is also the Pantheon. You can...
Good morning. We are at the Pantheon. It is near Notre Dame Cathedral. Just a very pretty area. Probably go inside.
Lunch we had on Monday was at Café des Hommes. It's actually inside a museum. The museum's called Musée des Hommes, and the view is incredible. I'll show you here as well.
This is where we're having lunch today. The cutest little restaurant right here. Perfect view of the Eiffel Tower.
The view from there was impeccable. I cannot recommend this place enough. It's a set menu price of $75 per person, 75 euros. 75 euros per person, and you get a starter, an entree, and a dessert. You also get 2 glasses of wine, and yeah, it was honestly my favorite meal of the whole trip. The view was incredible. It wasn't busy, I think, because it was a Monday. We made reservations online. If you just Google Café des Hommes, Tuesday, the next day, we're going to go to Musée de Orangerie, but it was closed. So that's one tip that I think you guys, another tip to be aware of when you're traveling to Paris. Mondays and Tuesdays, there's a lot of things closed. So if I had to do it again, I would fly out on a Monday or Tuesday and fly home on a Monday and Tuesday, because what happened is we had a full Monday and a full Tuesday, and everything that we kept wanting to go to was closed. So that was a big bummer. The one restaurant I wanted to go to, La Maison Rose, was actually closed. You can see on my Instagram, I took a picture in front of it, but it was closed, so I was super bummed out. A lot of things are closed on Tuesdays. I feel like it's 50-50. If it's not closed on Monday, it's closed on Tuesday. If it's not closed on Tuesday, it's closed on Monday. So just be aware of that, and try to travel on those days. So we went to the Montmartre area where the Sacré-Cœur Basilica is. I probably butchered that. I'm so sorry. But it's a beautiful, beautiful church that actually can go in. Actually has services. There was a service going on when we were there. It was wonderfully, so beautiful. Probably, I'm sure Notre Dame Cathedral is so beautiful as well, but unfortunately I didn't get to see inside, but it was so beautiful. The view from the cathedral, no, I wasn't at a cathedral. The basilica was absolutely incredible. You could see most of Paris from up there. It was just wonderful. Definitely recommend it. It's free. The only downside of going that day was it was pouring rain, and we got caught in the rain, and my Uber couldn't get up to us, and so we had to take a taxi. That was the only thing. That area, because of the area, the Montmartre area, Ubers can't get into it because it's very small. It's a lot of walking. There's no cars going through that area. So that's the one thing I would say just be aware of. Hopefully it won't rain on you like it did my mom and I. The Montmartre area is super cute. Little kind of like countryside. It feels like you're in the countryside. The cobblestone steps, the small little shops. They have a whole artist alley where there's just artists out drawing people, doing paintings, you know, showing, you know, their artwork off, and it's really wonderful. It's so beautiful. I think it's a great place to go visit for the day. I definitely could have spent more time there, but because it was pouring rain, We just didn't get to spend as much time. We went to another museum, trying to think of the name. I'm hoping it will come to me. It's not coming to me, but I'm gonna link it below with the complete list of itinerary. It was a nice museum. There are museums everywhere all over Paris, so whatever you choose to go to museum wise, you're gonna be fine. So yeah, that was for that day. We then did go to an Italian restaurant for dinner. We had pizza, which was amazing, 4 cheese pizza and some pesto pasta, which was also amazing as well. I didn't really want to eat anything not French when I was in Paris, because why? But we were so tired, and because it was raining, we wanted to find something close by to our hotel, and that was one of them, and so that is what we did. The next day was Wednesday, and we went to the Palace of Versailles for the whole day. We had bought in a tour, and the tour included pickup from our hotel to Versailles, a guided tour, and then also transportation back to our hotel. So we get to the Palace of Versailles, we go in, view the whole palace. It's absolutely beautiful. Again, similar to the Louvre Museum. The Louvre was like a former palace. This is a former palace that they use as a museum, but they've kept it looking like the actual palace. They have artwork in the palace, but that's not their main thing. Their main thing is keeping it looking like how it was. It was the palace of King Louis the 14th, 15th, and 16th. So, and also Marie Antoinette also had a palace there as well, which we did go and view, and it was beautiful as well. A lot different than the Palace of Versailles, but still beautiful as well. In Versailles, they have, I mean, it's a whole town, but the palace is there as well. When you go, they have gardens, which again, it was just a bummer because of the time we went. It was pouring rain. So we didn't get to view the gardens as much, but we did have a nice lunch at Angelina again, because again, I told you it's kind of like a chain. So there, that day I decided to have tea because I was not getting that hot chocolate again. And I picked up some of their tea. This one is the Angelina Special Flavored Infusion, which it was absolutely delicious. It comes just like how our tea does here in little sachets. I like to pick up, you know, when I'm traveling, things that I'm actually going to use. I drink tea every day, so I'm definitely going to use that. But the bummer is on Wednesday, once we got home from Versailles, is I got sick, very, very ill. Not sure what it was, probably food poisoning from what I'd ate that day, which is a bummer because it was at Angelina. But I will say that the French food is very rich and full of dairy, so things that don't really mix well with me. But yeah, thankfully I survived that, and on the flight home on Thursday, everything was good. I didn't feel the greatest, but I, you know, was okay. Wasn't like bad or anything like that. So survived, got home just fine. One last thing I did pick up in Paris is, of course, a cute little beret. So yeah, the cute little beret, you know how it goes, kind of like this. Hopefully I can wear it well for all my French, Parisian, whatever you want to call it, people. I got this cute little pin as well. But yeah, that was the whole trip to Paris. I'm going to be linking below my whole list. I have it all written down right here. I'm going to type it all up for you guys, and then I will let you know all the places I recommend, all the places I went, all the museums, what I bought, all that jazz, all going to be linked below, because I know this might have been a little bit scattered. I hope you guys enjoyed it though, and I hope you enjoy this. I hope that you can use some of these things that I did on your trip to Paris. Thank you. Bye.